All right, welcome everyone to our Zoom meeting tonight. We have a pretty small group, so it'll probably be a somewhat short meeting, but we have a lot of fun things to talk about. So first, I would like Scott to introduce himself.
Hi, I'm Scott Murdoch, and glad to be here to the meeting. And I've had a lot of fun losing weight, and it's nice to have added energy. And going up the stairs isn't as difficult. And you know, even though I haven't gone to the gym much, it's made a substantial difference in the amount of strength I have.
That's a good thing, yeah. And Maylin, you've been here for the Zoom meeting. Woo!
Again. I'm Maylin.
All right, well, just so everyone knows, Scott and Maylin, we've been working together since May, and they have been doing amazing on this. And, you know, if you guys get a chance, you should ask them about their story sometime, because they both have done so many amazing things on this and have come such a long way. So anyway, I think you guys are the perfect people to help us out tonight, because tonight I want to talk about what goals you had made for the challenge, and did you reach those goals? And then also, how are you guys going to take this long term? So even though right now you guys are still doing some weight loss outside of the challenge, what are you planning on doing once you're done with that? Where are you going to go long term? So one of you, if you want to start.
Go ahead.
Well, I mean, of course, one of my first goals, you know, was to lose the 6% weight loss, which I have achieved, but I'm trying to maintain at least that now.
Right.
And you know, and the other thing that helps out is hearing other people's story and learning, you know, that they have some of the same hardships that I've had, and how I can overcome those.
Right.
But yeah, it's great to have lost 60 pounds, you know, since May.
Yeah, you've done amazing.
Quite a difference.
Your high school weight, right?
Yeah, back at my high school weight. I don't. I'm a lot more mature though.
So Maylin, what about you?
One of my goals was obviously to lose my 6% and to help me have tunnel vision and stay focused on my eating habits and stuff. And one thing that I've come to love, and I think I mentioned this on the team wall, is exercise. You know, even if it's just only like 30 minutes, and I look forward to that. It's just part of my me time, and I feel good forward. So that's helping me, and I look forward to continuing that after the challenge as well.
Yeah, but those are great things. And Vanessa just popped on here. Hi, Vanessa. Welcome. So, Vanessa, how about for you? We're kind of talking about goals that you had made for this challenge. If you feel like you've reached those, do you have any that you'd like to share with us?
I don't know that I've reached them, but I definitely am better than I was. I think that accountability is the thing that's helped me the most to like rethink that I want to go eat bad or not exercise. So I'm getting there.
No, that's good. And I know it's hard when you have work schedules that don't always make it easy.
No.
And so that can be challenging. So for Vanessa, we'll start with you. How about what are your plans to take this long term, so that when you hit the end of the challenge, that you don't just go, well, that was fun. All right. Like, what are your plans? What pieces of this challenge are you going to take with you that are gonna keep you on track health-wise?
The daily exercise helps, and yeah, my shifts are, I work 24-hour shifts sometimes, so that's a little hard, but I've been using the stairs, just trying to take the time to exercise because I actually feel better when I exercise too, especially if it's been a really stressful shift. I really want to lay down and sleep like yesterday, but I didn't. I said, nope. I put the workout clothes on, sat for a little bit, and I'm like, nope, get up and exercise. So that's really helped. And then the eating. I think eating and what you eat is so key on everything because you can be exercising every day. And I went like two and a half weeks where I didn't lose anything, you know. So then I went back and looked at what I was eating, and it was like, well, probably the Cane's chicken, even though you only ate 3, was not as good.
And you know what, it is, I talk a lot, well, unfortunately for my clients, they get to hear this stuff from me all the time, but I always talk about fitness and health and all of that is 80% what we eat and only 20% exercise, which kind of stinks sometimes because we wish we could just eat what we want and then go to the gym and take care of it, but it doesn't work that way. And so definitely focusing on your eating. And then the exercise going hand in hand with that. When you've worked out really hard, the last thing you want to do is go eat a piece of cake and totally destroy all that work. So it does help keep you on track. Scott and Maylin, what are your plans for long term? What are you guys, especially since you guys are doing weight loss outside of the challenge, after you hit maintenance, what are you guys planning on doing beyond that?
Well, I definitely want to maintain that weight loss. I know that in some ways it's almost easier to transition and lose the weight than it is to maintain the weight loss. And what I've noticed, you know, when you make the decision, you know, to lose weight and you choose to eat not necessarily what you want to eat, but you're choosing a better you.
Right.
And so each time you make that choice, but then as I have been in ketosis where you're burning your fat, if I have a little bit of carbs, it's like, whoa, it's like my whole energy just hits a roadblock, and then I can actually feel the energy shift. And like I will even start to twitch a little, you know, as it's sugar starts to enter my body. I'm like, oh, wait a minute, this is weird. And then amazing hunger comes in. It's like, whoa, wait a minute, you know, because your body wants to switch out of ketosis and burn that sugar because it has to. It doesn't have a choice. And so that's something that I'm trying to work on as I get more into maintenance and get to where I'm learning. At least I won't be in ketosis all the time, you know, since I won't be losing as much weight, but making those choices to not eat as much is what I think I need to eat.
Right, which is, I mean, that's huge. And it's, and you're right. I think when you're in weight loss, no matter what program you're doing weight loss on, it's almost easier because you're seeing immediate results. You're seeing, you know, you're feeling the change, you're seeing the change. It's happening a lot quicker. And then once you hit maintenance, you're number one, you're going back to a type of eating that you haven't done in maybe a little while. And not that it's bad, it's just different. And all of a sudden you're adding things back into your diet that might have been triggers in the past. And so it's definitely keeping a handle on it, like saying to yourself, I really love bread. Can you tell I like bread? I always talk about bread. I really like bread, but because I like it so much, instead of having 4 rolls at dinner, I'm going to have 1 or maybe 2, and then I cannot have anything else. And for me, I definitely keep things to once a day. So I eat my bread either at breakfast or lunch or dinner, and that's when I get it. And that way I'm giving myself what I want without going totally over the top and beyond what I really need. So Maylin, what about you? I know you and I have talked about this quite a bit.
Well, I think it's a huge factor is keeping your goal in your mind at all times. I know that's what I have to do, is to be like, okay, is this cookie or this patty or whatever it may be, or a piece of bread, is it really worth it right now? Or am I eat it just because it sounds good? I'm stressed or bored. And if you get stressed or bored, go for a walk or go read a book or go do something else. And also, like, when I get into maintenance, I focus. I would like to have a sweet tooth, and that's what got me into trouble. And so if I say, I can't have, any more sweets forever, then it's going to make me want it more. So if I say, well, I could have it, once a day, or, maybe a couple days a week. I don't know, just something small and minimal, and so I can just have that taste and be happy.
Right. Which I think, Malin, I think you hit a great point with, when our mentality is, I'm not, I'm having, what's the word I'm looking for? Instead of making it, this is my choice I'm making, and you're saying I'm depriving myself, then all of a sudden it's a negative thing, and you're saying, oh, I can't have that. And so what happens when we feel like we're deprived? We want it more. So instead, it definitely is a mental thing. You want to say to yourself, I'm not going to eat my kids' Halloween candy because, number one, I'm going to walk away feeling so sick. And number two, it's not worth it in the end. Because then on top of that, you've given yourself the vicious cycle of feeling guilty because you ate what you didn't want to eat. Whereas if you went and approached the situation saying, you know what? I'm not depriving myself of that candy. I know exactly what's going to happen to me, and it's so worth it for me to eat this really healthy option over here. Like for me, my saving grace when it comes to a sweet tooth is, and this is for those on maintenance, but dark chocolate. If I have to have something that feels a little more desserty, I make sure it is dark chocolate, or apples and peanut butter. I know that sounds bizarre, but that for me is, it'll hit my sweet tooth enough that I can get by whatever craving I was having at that moment. So for you guys, in terms of long-term again, and then we'll wrap it up, but exercise, I know today they talked a little bit about exercise, and I am a huge fan of fitness. What exercises do you think, like what types of exercises do you guys think you'll be able to take with you long-term? Are you planning on upping your intensity? Do you have fitness goals in terms of your exercise to help you stay on track? Vanessa?
Well, I've been doing the Shanti 25. So 25 minutes is, anytime I want to talk myself out of an exercise, I said it's only 25 minutes. So it's like 10 weeks. So as I've done it before, so as I try to go through it the second time, I'm trying to do not so much of the modifier, although that didn't work half an hour ago. But to do that, do a little bit more of the higher intensity, but maybe half as I watch the clock and then switch over,
Right.
So for right now, and that's 10 weeks. So.
Hey, and that's a great goal. Sometimes I know for me, when I'm feeling like I have no motivation to work out again, and that happens to me. Sometimes you burn out. Like if you've been doing the same thing over and over, you burn out. So I'll either sign up for a race, and I know that I better make it worth my $80 that I put into it, so I start training again, or I try something new. And I've never liked yoga in the past, and I started yoga this past year and a half, and I love it now. It's like my go-to exercise. If I'm stressed, that's what I do, or if it's a day I'm just too tired, that's what I do, and I've loved it. And so sometimes just switching it up a bit and never feeling intimidated to try a new workout, because working out is for anyone and everyone. It doesn't matter who you are, what ability you're at, there is something out there for you. Malin and Scott, I know you guys just recently had talked about upping yours. Malin, I know you have some that you enjoy.
Yeah, I do. I have a couple of DVDs by Teresa Tab.
Oh, hold on, Malin. I'm not getting I think mine froze a little bit. Your volume isn't working super well right now. Sorry.
Oh.
There you go. I can hear you now.
Okay. I have a few CDs by Teresa Tapp, and it's called T-Tap, and she's really big into muscle activation, working different kinds of muscles. at the same time, and she doesn't use any weights or anything. It's just you and her on the TV. So it's pretty easy. Well, it's easy that.
You don't have to get anything, but it is definitely.
Her daily workout is minutes long, but they work like everything, especially her legs. Which you typically have duties like you work out DVDs in 45 minutes to an hour, and so I've been kind of switching off between those.
Right.
So,
well, I think those are some great options, and I'm hoping that because our team has just done so well with communicating with each other, and hopefully everyone will be able to take something from this. I think you guys have some great tips, and honestly, I think the best way to have long-term success is to learn and to be motivated by others, and that's why I think teams or support groups or anything like that is huge for long-term success. Maylin and Scott are a part of a support group I have that we're a part of on Facebook, and that's open for anyone. I can add anyone who wants a support group that is wanting to get healthier, that wants to lose weight. But it can be family, it can be friends, anyone who's on board. Find a workout buddy, whether that's a spouse or a friend that you go walking with. You always want to have a workout buddy that motivates you to be there, because when you don't have someone waiting for you, you're kind of like, well, if I don't show up, it's not a big deal. And then the other thing is, just like you guys said, I think it's finding that focus. Why are you wanting to get healthy? What are your long-term goals? And I think everyone can stick with it, whether they're seeing huge amounts of weight loss or not. Anything that makes you feel better is going to help you out in the long term. So anyway, I'll wrap it up now. I know we've been on for a while, but I want to thank Vanessa and Scott and Maylin for joining us tonight. And this is our very last one. It makes me kind of sad. Oh, I wish we could have done more of these, but everyone's been having a great week. I'm excited to see what happens in the end. And anyway, we will chat on the team wall. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.